speaker is an activist with Students Against Israeli Apartheid. He is an activist with the U.S. Palestinian Community Network. Please welcome Tareq Radi.
Today we stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Palestine. As the number of martyrs increases and our anger and sorrow rightfully deepens, we find ourselves asking, what can we do and how can I help? Before Oslo, the diaspora was once connected with the resistance back home. Today, our generation's narrative has been deeply affected by the Zionist narrative and the language that has been imposed upon us. We are made to believe that we must strive for peace rather than justice. They replaced our struggle for liberation with endless negotiations. They're trying to soil the words that we hold sacred. Shaheed, martyr, revolutionary. These words will always be sacred because they belong to the oppressed. They empower us and strike fear into the hearts of cowards. We are a people of resistance, and we need to rebuild our culture of resistance. We did not trade our right of return for pragmatism. Some of our leaders may have traded in their keffiyehs for silk ties, but our shabab and sabaya are still in the streets exercising their right to resist colonial domination. We must program the language we use to describe our struggle. By surrendering to the language of peace, we have handcuffed the means in which our people back home can resist. We open the door for the world's most violent country to criticize our tools of liberation. In being mindful of our language, we will protect and reinforce our narrative. And for this reason, resistance in this country will start with the tongue. We are made to believe that we must separate our nationality from our other identities. This is a symptom of repression. It doesn't matter if you're an academic, healthcare provider, an athlete, or another professional. Our right to resist has been etched into our very DNA. Destroy the false boundaries that divide your identities and keep Palestine light on your tongue. We must ask ourselves, how has this occupation gone on for 66 years unchecked? Why is it that we have the facts and righteousness on our side, yet are always portrayed as the aggressors? One reason is because we haven't developed a consistent narrative that is socially acceptable to circulate these facts. We've had the Zionist narrative so imposed on us that we inadvertently reinforce it. Being pragmatic does not make you enlightened. There is nothing intellectual about compromising your beliefs. We're told to talk about our right to resist, that it should be kept at the dinner table and amongst our families. Meanwhile, we have to sit back and listen to the constant affirmation that Israel has a right to defend itself. The only reason the Zionist entity gets away with its ludicrous rhetoric is because, one, they're unwilling to deviate from their narrative, and two, because we play an audience to it. We must resist the Zionist entity at every turn. They must know that their presence is not welcome anywhere that values justice. I don't care what the setting may be. There is no room for a diversity of opinions on human rights. Cultures of resistance foster accountability. If you support the death and destruction of another people, then you should be prepared to face the consequences. I'm almost there. The Zionist entity is trying to extinguish our hope, but they don't realize that with every bomb dropped and bullet fired, the fire in our heart grows hotter. That fire is going to reach a point where it can no longer be contained. And when that happens, we will throw off the yoke of colonial rule, and their colonial privilege will be reduced to ashes. Some of our brothers and sisters in Palestine will be liberated by appealing to those in the State Department, the Department of Defense, or on the Hill. Palestine will be liberated by our youth and our allies. No oppressed people will have ever been liberated by the state. The state is inherently repressive by its very nature. We may be standing in front of the White House, but know that I am not here speaking so that Obama may hear me. Obama didn't do anything for black kids in Chicago, and he's not going to do anything for our kids in Palestine. This is a call for Palestine to be light on your tongues. This is a call to reclaim our narrative. This is a call for the annihilation of mental colonization. This is a call for the equality of all and the supremacy of none.
All right, thank you. That's Tareq Radi from Students Against Israeli Apartheid. Give it up for him one more time.